big thing to me was the issue of fairness. Is there enough business here to not affect the other casinos? So the Iowa Gaming Commission will figure that out. And I may be wrong in that. I don't know. But that's something I struggled with. So I've heard many views on that side, and many profound, heartfelt views on the other side. So it happens, and I'll go with it. But that was my vote.
I support the people's decision, and everybody will support it. I also look at it from a revenue standpoint, from a nonprofit. They're going to give about $2.5 million to local nonprofits, and that money, I could do so much with $2.5 million coming from my nonprofit. And so I also look at it as we have increased opportunity for entertainment, nightlife, and just to also charge downtown with the vibrancy that we need. As far as crime, I think we'll get to it when we get to it, if we get to it, but I think we will also be proactive in helping people and working with the community and ensuring that does not happen.
I respect the perspectives on all sides of the issue, and now that the voters are spoken, I think that it's relevant that as elected officials that we get behind it and make sure that this development is the best that it can be for our area. If it's done right, I think it can be meaningful to us. It also means we could have another piece of flood protection. It means, again, as we've spoken to, money for our nonprofits. It could mean additional economic and community development that happen in the Fort West Side neighborhood. And it also could be amphitheater. We could use the Parks and Rec for amphitheater. So we will have those events there to provide space for people to come and enjoy that quality of life. And then, again, we've spoken to the Army Corps of Engineers on the northwest side that it didn't have enough value, and I believe that this starts to change that for us.
Thank you all. Building in the floodplain. How much has the city saved to go toward a flood plan? How much money has the city saved? Do you support passing another bond issue for flood control? And what can we do to decrease runoff and improve water absorption to avoid flooding in the future? So, lots of questions about flood control, and we will start with Mrs. Tompkins.
And excuse me, so am I starting with
Just question. However you want to talk about flood control. There are a lot of questions about it, so.
And there are a lot of questions about flood control. Oh boy, yes. One of the things that I understand about our flood issues is that we have still so much left to do, obviously. We are at a place where we need monies in order to go forward. Some of those monies are not going to come forward for another couple of years. That would be from, I believe it's FEMA, and also for the state monies. So those kinds of things, we're going to have to work to find out how we can match funds when they do come, and how to make things go forward. Should we look at changing some of the flood plans? Perhaps this is the time that we can go in there, although some plans have already been made through the Corps of Engineers, but we may need to go forward.
The original plan, I think, was very sound, and I think the plan which we have in place, which is walls and levees, is the best way to go. We may need to change the alignment of that wall and levee a little bit, but the plan is good. We should discourage building in the floodplain. There are some things that can be built in the floodplain, but general buildings, habited buildings, I would discourage from building in the floodplain. I do not think we've saved any money for this. If we do, it can't be a lot. And we definitely need another bond issue, which brings up another very good subject, and I hope we have some questions later on about city finance and our ability to bond for major projects. I also want to talk, hopefully we can talk about how we reduce runoff upstream, and I have some ideas
whether we allow people to build where they're building or not depends upon where the flood wall goes. And it's just going to take a lot of time with working with the Corps of Engineers, working with people upstream. And as if I'm elected, I would like to work on that, work with the city manager, work with the people upstream, work and save. And as the comes to the runoff and save the water, I think each and every building that's built now should take care of their own water runoff, which we've been doing. I don't think we're doing it as much as we should. Thank you.
Yeah, I support the future building of flood walls. I was on the steering committee for the Cedar River Watershed Coalition. And after we had that flood in 2008, I thought to myself, when I heard about this organization, how could we not address the issue upstream and downstream if we want to work at solving the whole problem? That's just part of the problem. So it's a group of people up and down, from politicians to citizens to agricultural farmers on the Farm Bureau, other community leaders to work on reducing, improving water mitigation, water quality. I think a bonding referendum would depend on what type of money comes. I think there's a water bill in the federal government. When that gets through, there's money from the state. I think that money should only come to us if we have a willingness to put forth some effort in our finance. So I also think we should look at realignment for certain parts of that flood wall.
So, I think flood mitigation and flood protection is more than just walls and levees. It is watershed management upstream and downstream. How do we build a partnership with the county, with the state, with farmers to mitigate and make sure that if we do have a high water situation, we can curb the imminent threat of flooding in Cedar Rapids by opening up channels upstream. I also believe that we do need to discourage building at this time until we actually come up with an adequate plan. I know that we do have a viable business corridor that's being developed for Ellis Boulevard that is going to have buildings out of the 100-year floodplain and potentially out of the 500-year floodplain. I would leave that for a community vote on a bond issue. I would work to educate both sides on the issue, and I do think that we need to